And we've got to come back to the reality. We elect congressmen that go to Washington and then tell us that we're going to reduce the deficit and balance the budget when they know that the next step is that the 21% increase in cost is going to occur. I don't have the solution to that. I know that if we do not, in this country, award that increase, that all the doctors are going to no longer take Medicare. So we've got to do it. But we cannot pass legislation that we talk about being comprehensive in nature without actually having a solution. The solution is the free market, being able to purchase insurance across state lines, talking about reducing the litigation costs that we have in our medical profession. We got to have those honest discussions. And so the short answer, since I will answer the question, unlike my opponent, Ben Ray Lujan, who seems to avoid the questions, is yes, I would vote to put the increase in place.
So let's be honest about what this is. It's not an increase. It's a 21% cut from baseline. So the reimbursement rate that we're talking about right now for Medicare, for our seniors, the reimbursement rate that our TRICARE veterans count on, the people who gave 20 years of their life serving in the armed services of this country to this nation, we're not talking about giving another 21% to the doctor. What we're talking about is the Republicans in Congress voted to cut 21% out, which guarantees that the doctor can't even recover their costs. So it's not free market. It's not big government. This is saying, yeah, we're going to have big government. We're going to expect you to pay to either not take new Medicare and TRICARE patients, or you're going to have to take a loss. It's not fair to ask a doctor or a hospital to take a loss.
Doctors are already taking a loss in Medicaid in many specialties, and that's Medicaid. Since we're talking about the Medicare issue, yeah, it's a problem. This 21% hit the docs are taking is a problem. Accessibility is becoming more and more difficult, especially, once again, I keep referring to specialists. Specialists are leaving the profession. They will leave the profession. In many cases, like oncology, they're getting hit very, very hard. And here in New Mexico, oncology is becoming a specialty that's becoming less and less accessible. It's all because of these reimbursement rates that have problems. So yeah, we need to fix that. We need to make sure that again, we honor those commitments made under the Medicare provisions that we have told seniors that they would be entitled to.
Final question before we wrap up with your closing remarks goes to education. And the question is, if the state is 49 in educating, how can suggesting doing more of what we're currently doing be the right solution?
I'll go first, but I'll take it. I'll go first. That was fine. Simply spending more on education is not the answer. We need to focus on really doing what we need to do with respect to curricular reform and continuing other types of reform. Now, I'm going to be the first to say I'm not a big fan of No Child Left Behind. And it just, I don't think is worked, and I don't think it's something that will work. But that being said, spending more money is not the answer either. I am looking at other types of innovative reforms. Again, in 1 minute it's hard to do, but my dad was a former educational assistant down in the Cruces public school system. He saw it firsthand. I saw it firsthand. The teachers do amazing jobs. Parents need to be involved. An idea that I really like is a Learn and Earn program, which I don't have time to explain here, but it basically it's a bipartisan thing that supported this Learn and Earn program, where it really does encourage parents to get involved in their kids' education and provides incentives for them to do so. So those are the types of innovative reforms, hopefully, that I'll get to pursue.
Well, if you've spent any time in your child's classroom in public schools, I'm not exactly sure they're swimming in money. I know my second grader, his classroom isn't exactly swimming in money. What I would say is we do need real substantive change in how we approach education. The funding issue completely aside. No Child Left Behind has been a horrible failure for our teachers, for our students, for our schools. The biggest reason why is because it brands people failures who aren't. If you take a school that gets 36 things right and 1 thing wrong, they go on the failed list. My son's school is fantastic. They had 1 thing wrong and they didn't meet AYP. People stand up in lines to get into that school. We need to use growth models, and we need to get science back in the classroom. We can do that by repealing NCLB and going to a system where we reward teachers, we reward schools, and we reward students for growth. If you move a kid from the 2nd grade reading level to the 4th grade reading level, but you're a 5th grade teacher, you've succeeded. We should base things on where they came in on, look at the end where they go out on, and base things on growth. That will reward good behavior on all those fronts, teachers, students, and schools.
We need to be honest with you again. The role of the federal government listed in the Constitution of the United States of America does not have a federal Department of Education, which is going to somehow grant a reward to our school systems. What are we thinking when we're electing congressional representation that's going to somehow grant a reward to our school teachers? What we need to have in this country is parenting. Okay? You cannot legislate parenting in this country. We have got to become involved in our local schools. In my opinion, we need to do away with the bureaucracy of No Child Left Behind and the entire Department of Public Education at the federal level. And we need to allow those dollars to stay in your pocket and to be placed in your local school or through the states to solve our education crisis. Because what we have is we have a bureaucracy that continues to grow. And as Mark mentioned, the dollars are not reaching the classroom. It's because they're going into the bureaucracy. The only way to fix that is to cut off that supply of funds and balance our federal budget. We've got to do that.